hatred destroys, love alone creates. Those are the words that St. Maximilian Kolbe kept impressing upon his fellow prisoners at Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II, before he was martyred there, offering his life to spare a fellow prisoner, Mr. Franciszek Gajowniczek. I'm Father James, the Minister Provincial of the Franciscans in the East Coast of the United States and Canada, and I'm greeting all of you on this great feast of St. Maximilian Kolbe, Franciscan Friar Conventual, member of my order, and inspirer of the whole world, that charity without limits does exist and can save souls. St. Maximilian Kolbe died exactly 79 years ago today, the 14th of August, at Auschwitz, and he's now universally commemorated in the Church as the great martyr of love. We friars in my province of Our Lady of the Angels have a special connection with St. Maximilian Kolbe. He never visited the United States, but while we were building this very friary where I'm standing in Ellicott City, Maryland, he was building his great Niepokalanów, city of the Immaculata, outside of Warsaw, Poland. He followed closely the building of this house as we followed closely the building of Niepokalanów. There was a rapport between him and the friars of our province. He supported us with his prayers. We supported him with our prayers and donations. I say he never got here, but guess who did? In 1989, I actually brought into this courtyard, into this friary, Franciszek Gajowniczek, then quite elderly, the man whose life had been spared at Auschwitz by St. Maximilian Kolbe's heroic sacrifice. Mr. Gajowniczek was a great friend of our Franciscans, and I would bring him to the United States to give talks about the saint who saved his life. And while he was on one of his visits with us, I received a phone call inviting him to the White House to meet President Bush the Elder, President George H.W. Bush, in 1989. And I brought Mr. Gajowniczek and his wife here to stay at this friary in Ellicott City. They slept in our Kolbe room now. And he visited in the Oval Office with President Bush and told him about the great martyr of Auschwitz, Maximilian Kolbe, and his heroic sacrifice for family values, for spiritual values, and for love that transcends hate. And that's the message of Maximilian Kolbe to the world, that divisions, hatred, pettiness doesn't have a chance when it matches itself against love. We live in a world today where the message of St. Maximilian Kolbe is more cogently needed than ever before. It's the message of Jesus Christ in the gospel, and it's embodied in the person of Jesus' mother Mary. She was so full of love and never capitulated to hate, even when she saw her son crucified. Maximilian Kolbe, similarly, would never let petty bitterness destroy or disrupt the spiritual peace of his soul. I think if there's any one message that we have to take to heart as we commemorate the feast of Maximilian Kolbe today, is that despite all the divisions and all the fractious bickering in our world and in our society, it is possible for human beings to come together in a spirit of unity and love. And that breeds a peace and a joy which our world is hungering to have. So that's the message I'd like to leave you on this feast today of St. Maximilian Kolbe, and pray that through his intercession, God will touch each and every one of your lives with a new renewed spirit of hope and love.